Every arcade machine ever made has a name on it. Atari, Nintendo, Sega, stamped right on the cabinet, so you always know who built the thing you're playing. In the summer of 1981, in Portland, Oregon, kids started collapsing in front of one machine. Seizures, nosebleeds, nightmares that didn't stop when they woke up. And when the parents went looking for someone to blame, the machine had no name, no company, no credits, no explanation. It had appeared in the arcade overnight, and no one remembered it being delivered. Somebody built a machine that was hurting children, and they made sure you could never find out who. Within a month, every single one of those machines vanished, removed in the dark by men nobody could identify. This is the story of the arcade game that was never supposed to exist, and the boy who never forgot it. To understand why Polybius terrified people, you have to remember what arcades were in 1981. They were the center of the world for every kid in America. Bright, loud, alive. Rows of glowing machines, pockets full of quarters, the smell of popcorn and electricity, the safest kind of fun there was. Into that world, in a suburb of Portland, a new machine appeared. Nobody saw it delivered. It didn't look like the others. The cabinet was plain black. No cartoon art on the sides, no company logo, no insert coin to start jingle, just the name, Polybius, and a screen already running, showing patterns. Geometric shapes, spirals, flashing colors that seemed to fold in on themselves. Kids said you couldn't look away from it. Literally. That once you started, your hands kept playing even when your mind wanted to stop. And there was one more thing witnesses agreed on. Men in black suits would visit the machine. Not to play it. They'd open the back, connect equipment, write down numbers, and leave. No arcade owner remembered signing a contract for the game. It was just there. Collecting something. The question was what? Before I tell you what happened to Danny, you need to know the pattern, because everyone who played Polybius for too long went through the same stages, in the same order. This is what the reports described. 3 stages. Stage 1, the pull. The first day you just wanted to play it again. Then you needed to. Kids skipped meals, lied to parents, emptied their savings, anything for another turn. It didn't feel like fun anymore. It felt like being called. Stage 2, the symptoms. After a week, headaches that light made worse. Nosebleeds, a ringing in the ears that never fully stopped, and dreams, vivid, identical dreams of the patterns, spinning night after night. And stage 3, the one that emptied the arcades, the blackouts. Kids would be playing mid-game and simply stop. Standing frozen, eyes open, hands still on the controls, gone for 30 seconds, a minute. And when they came back, they didn't remember sitting down. Some didn't remember the whole summer. Keep those 3 stages in mind: the pull, the symptoms, the blackouts. Because in June of 1981, an 11-year-old kid named Danny walked into an arcade with a pocket full of quarters and started stage 1. He just didn't know it yet. Danny's account is the one this whole video is built on. He told it decades later, as an adult, to a researcher collecting Polybius stories, one of the only first-hand witnesses who ever spoke on the record. And what makes it different from the internet legend is that Danny didn't talk about governments or conspiracies. He talked about what it did to him. He was 11, it was summer, and the black machine in the corner had no line because the other kids had started avoiding it. That should have been the warning. But an empty machine to an 11-year-old just means no waiting. He put in his quarter. Couldn't describe the game afterward. That was the first strange thing. He remembered playing it, hours of it, but not what it looked like or what you were supposed to do. Only the patterns, the spirals that seemed to reach into his eyes and pull. When his mother found him and dragged him home for dinner, he'd been standing there for 4 hours. It had felt like 15 minutes. That night, he wrote in a notebook. The notebook the researcher would photograph 40 years later. One sentence, over and over, filling the page. I have to go back tomorrow. For the next week, Danny went back every single day. And here's the part that feels like calm before you realize. It isn't. He was happy. He'd never been good at anything, and suddenly he was good at this. His scores climbed. The patterns made sense to him in a way they didn't to other kids. He felt chosen. Then stage 2 arrived, right on schedule. The nosebleeds came first, small ones, then a bad one at the dinner table that scared his mother. Then the headaches, the kind where light hurt, where he'd play in the dark with the curtains closed. And the dreams. Every night, the same one, the spirals, turning, and a sound underneath them, A low tone, almost words, almost a voice, telling him something he could never remember in the morning. His mother took him to a doctor. The doctor found nothing. Kids in their video games, he said. But Danny knew. He'd started hearing the tone during the day now. Faintly. Even when the machine was nowhere near him. The last day Danny played Polybius was the day he reached stage 3, and this is where the story stops being about a boy and a game, and becomes about what the game was for. The blackout. He was deep in a game, later than he was allowed to be out, the arcade nearly empty, and then nothing. A gap. One moment he was playing, the next, he was standing outside on the sidewalk in the dark, with no memory of leaving. 40 minutes, gone. His nose was bleeding, his quarters were gone, and his hands wouldn't stop shaking in a rhythm. The same rhythm, he realized, as the spirals. The men, when he forced himself back inside to find his jacket. The men in black were there. 2 of them at the Polybius machine, the back panel open, connecting a device to it, pulling something out of it. One of them looked up and looked at Danny. Not surprised, not angry. He just checked something on a clipboard and made a small mark. Like Danny was a number he'd been expecting. Contact, Danny ran. He went back the next morning with his older brother to prove the machine was real. But the corner was empty. Clean, not just the machine gone. The marks on the floor were gone. The where a cabinet had sat for a month, scrubbed away. Like it had never been there. The arcade owner said he didn't know what they were talking about. There had never been a game called Polybius. And that was the moment Danny understood the men hadn't been studying the machine. They'd been studying the kids. The machine was just how they reached them. Danny stopped having the dreams after that. Mostly. The tone in his ears faded over years. Mostly. But he never played another arcade game in his life. And he kept the notebook. Which brings us back to the summer of 1981, and all those kids collapsing across Portland. The seizures, the nosebleeds, the machines vanishing overnight, carried out by men nobody could name. Danny wasn't the only one. He was just one of the few who remembered it clearly enough and lived long enough to tell it. And here's what the researcher found when she went looking, the detail that turns a scary story into something colder. The stages Danny described, the pull, the symptoms, the blackouts, they aren't random. They're the documented profile of a specific kind of experiment. Controlled exposure, escalating dosage, measured response, subjects who don't know they're subjects. Danny always said the men in black weren't guarding the machine. They were collecting from it. And if that's true, then Polybius was never a game that broke children by accident. It was a game that worked. Exactly as designed. Now, here's where I have to be honest with you because this part is real. In 1981, in Portland, Oregon, there were genuinely documented incidents of kids getting sick at arcades. That's on record. There were real government programs in that era studying whether screens, sounds, and flashing patterns could affect human behavior. That's declassified. That's history. The men in black, the seizures, the machine that vanished, those come from real witness reports collected for decades. What nobody has ever produced is the machine itself. No cabinet, no circuit board, no photograph. Polybius, if it existed, was removed so completely that the only proof it was ever real is what it did to the people who played it. So is Polybius real? The machine? Probably not. Almost certainly it's a legend, stitched together from real arcade sicknesses, real government paranoia, and 40 years of the internet making it bigger. Probably. But Danny was real. The researcher met him. Held his notebook, gave the page where an 11-year-old wrote, "I have to go back tomorrow 50 times in a row." And on the last page of that notebook, decades later, as an old man, Danny had written one final line, because the tone in his ears, the one that faded mostly, had come back. The line reads, "I think it finished collecting. I think it's my turn to be used." Danny died 3 weeks after giving that interview. Sweet dreams.